Mr. Peters to introduce the last witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are joined today from a gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Wes Smith, who is representing small manufacturers. As members of both committees know that many small businesses have been impacted by this credit crunch, but that has been particularly acute for our small manufacturers. And whereas a result of this credit crisis, we're continuing to see that happen. Mr. Smith is owner of E&E Manufacturing Company. He's also a member of the board of a community bank, so brings a unique perspective. He has a company that employs 250 employees and has located both in Michigan and in Tennessee. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith, please.
Thank you. Again, my name is Wes Smith, and I am the president and owner of E&E Manufacturing. I also serve on a board of a small community bank, and so I can bring a unique perspective from both the borrower and the lender. And first and foremost, though, I have been a manufacturer for 45 years and appreciate the opportunity to discuss the challenges that small manufacturers in the motor vehicle industry face. My company, E&E Manufacturing, is one of those suppliers located in Plymouth, Michigan and Athens, Tennessee. My father began the business in 1962. It has since grown its footprint from a small 5,000 square foot job shop to over 400,000 square foot world-class full-service supplier of highly engineered stamped metal solutions. We were the first metal stamping facility in the nation to be awarded the Star Award from OSHA for our outstanding safety program and are determined to continue to provide safe and meaningful employment to our now over 250 employees. While our current sales projections for 2010 is up over 20% of what we achieved last year, it remains only 55% of what we enjoyed in 2007. And I can tell you no one was happier to close the book on 2009 than myself. Although we were able to turn things around in the last half of the year, E&E took a pounding in the first 7 months, and we will record a loss for the first time in 40 years. We project that our sales next year could allow us to rehire almost 200 people. However, access to capital to fund these sales projections could stunt our growth. Just recently, our lender reduced our line of credit to an insufficient amount and changed our loan covenants. Many banks are clearly avoiding manufacturers, especially in the automotive industry, as they aim to reduce their exposure to temporarily impaired companies in a struggling industry. Most small manufacturers enjoy a long history with their lender, in many cases having successfully worked together for decades. My personal opinion and that of many in our industry is that lenders are under such intense pressure from federal regulators that they went from one extreme, flooding the market with too many substandard loans, to almost completely closing the faucet. I urge Washington policymakers to work with lenders and borrowers to reach a delicate balance needed to help restore manufacturing in America and stimulate job growth. I don't believe the regulators should ease their standards and oversight of lenders. I do, however, believe that Congress and the agencies can develop a unique set of guidelines to govern loans to small businesses in a pool or program. This will allow banks to feel comfortable to lending to manufacturers while establishing set compliance rules. I applaud committees on Capitol Hill for holding these hearings, and leaders in Congress are encouraging. It is up to Washington to help create an environment whereby small manufacturers like ourselves can access adequate and timely credit, and the lenders can conduct sound transactions without fear of government reprisal. Injecting capital into the market is only one part of the equation. Banks and borrowers need guidance from Washington to strengthen oversight without stifling economic growth. According to the Small Business Administration, small companies comprise over 98% of manufacturing firms in the U.S., yet we are often an overlooked segment of our industry. For example, the auto industry is one of the most intricate industrial complexes. On one side is the vehicle manufacturers, a dozen or so major original equipment manufacturers that dominate world production and have sales measuring from the tens to hundreds of billions of dollars. On the other side is a dozen or so major material suppliers, the steel, aluminum, plastic providers, that too have sales measured in the tens of billions. Caught in between are some 3,000 suppliers that produce the over 10,000 parts necessary to make up every passenger car and truck. Because of drastically reduced volumes and non-functional capital markets, financial assistance to suppliers has not provided small manufacturers with the capital and resources to survive. Banks, most with diminished capital positions, are generally not in a position to increase their loan portfolios, regardless of the enhanced collateral positions. However, this committee has before two interesting proposals that collectively will go a long way in addressing the challenges faced by small manufacturers. H.R. 4629, the Manufacturing Modernization and Diversification Act, and the proposed Small Business Lending Fund, taken together, are significant and essential steps forward. We'll be pleased to work with committee members on the initiatives and legislation laid out in my written statement. I'd like to thank you for your time and efforts for making the millions of American manufacturing voices heard. I only hope my message is understood and acted upon before it's too late. Thank you.